So let us have a brief introduction about the speaker for the day. Dr. Kumaravel Sundaramurthy has been working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering at NIT Calicut since December 2008. He has acquired BE in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Bharathidasan University, Tiruchirappalli, and MTech in Power Systems from NIT Tiruchirappalli, PhD in Electrical Engineering from NIT Calicut. Also, he has completed postdoctoral fellowship in the area of power converter applications in power systems from University College Dublin, Ireland. His major areas of research are design and development of DC-DC converters, stability enhancement of microgrid, solid state transformers, etc. As on September 2021, he has published 31 research papers in Scopus Index journals, including 10 IEEE transactions and 4 papers in IET Power Electronics and several papers in reputed IEEE international conferences held in India and abroad.
Thank you, Shabin. Thank you, Shabin, for the introduction. Maybe lengthy, I guess.
Okay.
For the introduction,
So,
let me go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Over to you, sir. We can start the session right away. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shabin, for your nice introduction. Very good morning to all of you. So, since we are running short of time, so let me directly move into the session. So, I hope the inaugural session, we have heard a speech from many eminent personality. So since being the first session, IoT sensor network architectures, by considering the time, I will never go depth into this network architecture. Just I will give the outer periphery about this IoT system as well as the touch upon the network architecture. So I hope that there are participants all over the world, and there are mainly from computer science background and other department people also here, I hope. So by considering the heterogeneous group of people, I am just giving overview about this IoT sensor as well as this network architecture. So things are changing day by day. So way back when they find electricity, they were thinking that that is an ultimate invention and that is going to change the entire world. So as you all know that in the year 1882, when Thomas Alva Edison started his first power plant in terms of direct current. So the world started thinking about utilization of electricity in various forms. Initially for only lighting purpose, then they discovered motors and generators, in fact, and that solved the purpose of many industrial applications. Those days people used a steam engine, especially as one of the major device in industries for producing mechanical power. So when they bring motor, so it was solving the purpose of the huge demand and the industrial revolution, in fact, using this motor. So today, if you think without electricity, whether we can live, definitely not. So electricity recommended as the fourth basic need of human. In fact, this could be a right answer if you ask 20 years before, right? So, or maybe 30 years before, if you say where the communications and the informations were in the developing stage, where people promoted electricity basic needs of human. But when you ask the same question today, which is our another basic need, definitely we will say internet. Clear? Without internet, definitely we cannot think about our life. Right from morning till evening or going to the bed, we are dealing with internet today. Say the main feature or main attraction of how it become very this much cheaper, because the technology become very cheaper today, right? especially the cost of reduction. So basically we are all researchers. If you see in outset, we may be performing research in only in 4 aspects, right? Only in 4 aspects. Say the first aspect is improving efficiency. I think people are from computer science background, maybe efficiency, the term efficiency may be not that much relatedly used, but whereas an electrical engineer, we are much bothered about efficiency. Simple example I would like to quote here, incandescent lamp. Maybe if you see incandescent lamp, the efficiency hardly less than 40%. But today if you see LED, it is closer to 98%. So one type of research going on to improve the efficiency, right? That is called either maybe a material based research or method based research. Basically, they are aiming to improve the efficiency, right? The second set of research is going on to improve quality of product or quality of any term. For example, if you say, uh, 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 if you say that material used or maybe performance aspect. So we are much bothered about the quality rather the quantity. There are some aspect of research people are performing to improve significant performance, right? That's a second aspect of research. So there the cost is not a matter where they are only compromising, they are not compromising this quality. Third type of research is highly focused on active volume reduction. I think you people are much familiar about this. Say, I remember during my college days when we used to store some data, when we want to store some data, we purchased some floppy disk, hardly 100 MB. The cost was, I remember, hardly 500 rupees. Floppy disk could store only 100 MB, right? Then later, this turned as CD, then turned as DVD, and now even pen drives are available in terabyte, clear. But if you see ultimately what happened to the size never increased, clear. So hardly 1 terabyte pen drive available today at the cost of not more than 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees. So this third type of research is basically on compactness. So volume reduction, right? That is the main advantage why we are moving into Internet of Things today, right? If you realize to provide intelligence or smartness to a device 30 years before or 40 years before, it was not possible because the devices were not available more compact manner in those days. You all may remember a simple microprocessor itself came like a size of a switchboard box. But today, microprocessors are available in the size of a coin. That's what I'm telling. Third research mainly focus on active volume reduction. It means that more compact in nature. Even we could not imagine there are sensors available today in pin size. Can you imagine? That is the third type of research. Last type of research particularly focus on cost reduction. Again, IoT is closely connected with that. Assume that an industry is involving in manufacturing some products. Say there are 100 laborers are there and there are some 20 machines are there. Using these resources, assume that a company is producing 100 products per day. Assume that conventional mechanism I'm speaking, conventional machine and conventional human resources they are using. Suppose if you bring this intelligence, this type of intelligence into an industry, this 100 products, if you turn as 1,000 products, that is really ultimate success. So resource is remaining same, input is remaining same, whereas output is changed into 1,000. So it increases productivity. That is a fourth type of research. Say we are ultimately improving any one of the fact which I have shared you to now. So either you have to improve efficiency or maybe improving the quality or maybe reducing the size, and last one I told reducing the cost. So this is the way how a researcher is seeing into any research problem. And now let us see how this IoT can help us in some of the domain which I mentioned now. So when you see IoT, it is really a very good technology. When you say it's basically providing a communication to any device. That is basically Internet of Things. Thing is nothing but a device. Suppose I have a motor, and if you provide this communication facility to the motor, motor speaks, right? So that is a conventionally a motor cannot speak, but if you provide this technology to a motor, motor speaks. It means through some sensor mechanisms, we are fetching some data. Based on this data, we have some references, and then we are making a kind of intelligent system to see that either condition monitoring or status updation or maybe any accessories are aiding like that. There are many terms are coming here in terms of providing communication to a small thing. So Internet of Thing technology can include a sensor or electronic or software. Even it need not be a sensor always. It could be a software even that is connected to the internet, and they can be utilized remotely and exchange data. All right. Say not only we are localized, it is also global. So the data is not localized. Maybe 30 years back or 40 years back, even there also people used some communication, but it was a local communication, right? So local communication, but now it is a global communication. So the data is there in cloud, and through cloud, you can take this data anywhere or whatever you want, whenever you want, you can take. So simply speaking, Internet of Thing technology provides equipments to speak. That's it. So although we are using IoT as a standard term today, there are many terms are there tightly correlated to Internet of Things, such as IoE, that is nothing but Internet of Everything. Then Smarter Planet. They are coming out with the technology called Smarter Planet. Machine to machine. So to M, it is also often we can see in literature. So machine to machine, right? Communication means that a machine is communicating to another machine. Then the fog, it is another technology we are coming under IoT. So T sensors, this forms a kind of a localized network that is called trillion sensors. That is another topic. The industrial internet. Yeah, again, we are discussing previously nothing but the localized network. Now it is turned as a global network, industrial internet. Then industry 4.0, based on this communication technology developed, we call it as alternatively internet industry 4.0, then Internet of Things. These are alternatively, we are calling different terms under IoT. If you think IoT is developed in 2021, right? So because this IoT is really popularly used for the past not more than 4 or 5 years, clear. If you think IoT is a today technology, definitely not. In fact, the concept of IoT started in parallel to the usage of internet. So in 1982 itself, they have utilized this internet maybe in the other way. You can see Professor Kevin Ashton, he himself developed this kind of IoT based data transfer system in the year 1999. So IoT is another coined word. That's it. The technology is not that much new, but in fact, it is with us for more than 30 years. So today we are calling it as Internet of Things. That's what I am told previously. Various subsection or maybe alternative method of calling internet. Machine to machine is not a new thing. Machine to machine is existing even 20 years back or 10 years before. People tried to machine communication. So Internet of Things, in fact, is quite often used as a modern technology today. So when you see the utilization of IoT very drastically increased. So when you see the production, maybe in 2030, it will be more than 3 times than what we use in 2020. You can see number of devices connected in the year 2003, 5,000, in fact, 500 billion alone. So it closely went ahead with what I would say 25 billion maybe in the year 2015. So they are thinking that the number of what I would say per person may be increasing more and more when the technology is getting commercialized in various applications. So here the data quite utilized maybe in different applicant in fact. So it is highly application based, so that this IoT definitely will completely used maybe in various grassroots level of industrial and domestic applications. Just a brief introduction about the roadmap of IoT. As I told in 2010, many applications we started using related to IoT, may not be directly as IoT. For example, you can see RFID based security system, right? It was popularly used in those days in various applications. Similarly, when you see the technologies which are related to this 2010 and 2020, drastic difference happened maybe in terms of architecture of system, maybe nature of sensor, or maybe the type of network what we are using very drastically changed, especially in the past 10 years. So in 2020, this Internet of Things particularly play major role in energy harvesting and recycling, right? So you all know that electricity production is one of the major topic today. So although we are getting energy from conventional energy resources, there are wide opportunity to utilize renewable energy sources. In fact, why it is that much attracted in 2020, right? Say maybe 20 years back, if you visit any electrical power plant, you could see hardly 3 engineers, maybe an electrical engineer, maybe a mechanical engineer, sometime a civil engineer, right? I'm telling 20 years back. But today, if you visit an electrical industry or electrical power system or power station, definitely you can see 3 engineers there. One is an electrical engineer, then communication engineer, and a computer science engineer. So the whole thing is revamped and modernized with the help of all these 3. Say, you may ask, why do we need a communication engineer in electrical? Why he was absent 20 years before, right? Say, I am told a big revolution happened in electrical industry, especially in the past 10 years, in terms of renewable energy sources. Suppose, assume that you have a small electrical source and it is connected to a load, right? Assume that this is a person who is using, right? Here we have some loads. Suppose if you want to turn on the load, this person never communicate to this substation. So for example, today we have a big inaugural function of IIIT. Assume that if it happened in offline, we all could have assembled in a big seminar hall, and you know what are all the electrical loads we use there: fan, air conditions, lighting system, etc., etc. Assume that the load is closely some 100 kilowatt. Suppose if we want to turn on this 100 kilowatt, we never ever get the permission from utility grid, right? We never communicate them, right? Whenever you want, you turn on. Whenever you need, you turn off. That's it. The communication was absent 20 years back. But today, this communication facility is there. You may think why communication is there. So conventionally, we used fossil fuel based alternators. But today, if we change this into solar PV, so solar PV is solar photovoltaic is nothing but one of the renewable energy sources. It is going to play a major role in electricity sector. So if you use conventional generator, in fact, no communication is required. If you use a solar PV, definitely you need a communication. Why do you need a communication? Because here, if you have solar PV, either it could generate more power or it could generate lesser power, because it is highly decided by weather pattern. So weather pattern is not constant. So this utilizer should know how much energy is being generated from solar PV every instant. Suppose if you have a 100 megawatt solar power plant, 100 megawatt solar power plant, so it will never generate 100 megawatt at a given time. It could be either 900 megawatt, or it could be 50 megawatt, or it could be 120 megawatt. So it is highly intermittent in nature. So now you all may understand why do we bring communication between the source and the load. So this is nothing making the system more smarter, right? So I am telling you, there are computer engineers here. So how difficult to provide communication between the source, which is located very remotely. Assume that the distance between these two hardly 200 kilometer, right? This is 200 kilometers. Just I'm explaining what is a necessity of a communication in a simple application electrical system, right? Now you may understand why a computer science engineer, a communication engineer is sitting in electrical power plant. Clear? Say everywhere I am telling you this smart grid is getting popular. I think you all know what is called a smart grid. So smart grid is nothing but the conventional electric grid plus your communication. These two are joined together and forming the grid called smart grid. So now you all understand where the technology is moving in terms of smartness. So there are many applications are there. One simple applications I am taking here, and where there are a lot of focus for research I am telling, right? So there are common title where this electrical communication and computer engineers can do miracle in power industry I'm telling, right? Say when you see interdisciplinary research might have not produced significant outcome 20 years back or 30 years back. But today, I am sure that interdisciplinary research alone bring miracle, especially in modern technologies. I'm telling you, there are solar panels and coming out in every home today. Say 20 years back, solar panel was very costly. In fact, 1 kilowatt solar panel cost around 2.5 lakh rupees. Today, 1 kilowatt solar panel, not more than 30,000 rupees. So every customer, they are going to introduce solar panel in their home, definitely not more than 5 to 10 years. Even this 30,000 cost may come down very drastically when another 5 to 6 years are coming up. So you assume a situation, every home they are going to bring solar panel and there are loads distributed. Definitely I'm sure that without a proper networking facility, the whole infrastructure will fail. So one side, we are improving electrical structure or electrical network structure, whereas in the other side, we need huge communication network facilities. In fact, we need an architecture of communication in order to facilitate these solar energy sources to integrate into utility grids. So now I am telling you, there are many research papers are getting published. There is a publications called IEEE transactions on smart grid. There is a transaction very high. It has the impact factor of more than 5, I remember. It is one of the very reputed journal. Often you can see papers related to Internet of Things in electrical engineering, in fact. So those who would like to do some work, especially in communication network, please join hand with electrical engineers. Definitely you can bring very good standard publications, especially in this smart grid. So just I have taken one example and I have taken almost 10 minutes of time. I hope that I am moving in the right direction. So now participants, I think you all are there in line online, and I think I am very clear. Just could you please provide a feedback for not more than 2 minutes? Dear participants, am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your response. So I am moving forward. Say how this Internet of Things is going to change electrical system. I have explained so far. We will see little more applications maybe in the later slides. By considering that, I am moving forward. Say why this IoT is attracted today is data deluge. Say if you see an industry or a person or maybe any maybe a kind of a sector, if you take any sector, there the data was limited maybe 20 years back or 30 years back. For example, now itself you can see an application, electric or vehicle. You take a simple vehicle, right? Say if you take a old Ambassador car, if you sit on the driver seat, what are all the information you could see about car? Suppose assume that you are sitting in front of Ambassador car, sitting on the driver seat. In cluster, what are all the data you might have noticed in Ambassador car? Could you please provide answer in the chat box? So please make it as an interactive session. Yeah, I'm getting answer from some participants. Thank you, Mr. Sabin and Prashant. So we get hardly speedometer, right? So speedometer used to be there in Ambassador car. We can see what speed this car is going to going. That's it. One speedometer will be there. Then another fuel gauge will be there, right? This fuel gauge indicates how much fuel remaining in the car. That's it. That it only indicates a level, nothing more than that, right? It will only indicate the level, right? Either it is full or maybe reserve. Only these are the two main information a car is concerned, right? But today there are many cars are coming in the market. So recently Mahindra also launched the Mahindra XUV 700. So have you ever seen dashboard? what are all the informations are there in car? In modern car, I think both of them are vehicle, right? So maybe hardly 40, 50 years back, 40 years back, people used ambassador car. And after 40 years, you can see today modern car, you can compare both. Clear? Now you can imagine where this data coming up. Clear? Huge amount of data, right? There are many sensors are there, in fact. Clear? Even there are sensors embedded in tire to monitor condition of the tire even. Clear? What is the air pressure, whether air is sufficient or not. If it is going down, warning signal coming up, not to your car, warning signal coming to your mobile phone. You get my point? So you have you can have only app, right? Even there are many facilities I'm telling. Say I was riding a car, and when car crossed closely 1000 kilometer, I was getting a call from customer care telling that, sir, your car ridden 1000 kilometer, it is a time for service. I really wonder. I never inform anybody that my car driven 1000 kilometer, right? So from where they are getting, it means that my car is speaking to someone, right? My unknowingly, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, right? I'm not aware about that. I am not aware about that. Clear? So my car is speaking to someone else, telling that, sir, I have ridden 1000 kilometer, right? Immediately they are calling me and they are booking for service. Clear? Say one simple car itself, you take local network, global network, both are coming together. Even in electric, in normal vehicle I'm speaking, right? A local network is coming in the car itself, right? There are sensors, n number of sensors, and there is a processor, and that accumulate or fetches those data, and they are processing the data, and they are providing a kind of control signals inside the local network itself, that is locally formed. Whereas in the other way, it is promoted into they export that data into server, maybe through a gateway. Then that data fetched into data uploaded into that cloud is fetched by somebody else who is sitting in the service section, and he is monitoring it. Now you can imagine one simple sector. Now you may understand what is called a data delete, right? So something like some inrush, right? So the so that the survey says that the data may exceed more than what you say, 2020 exabytes may be stored in the year 2015, they are telling. But now if you could see, it could be more than 20 to 30 times, right? Now you may understand why we need Internet of Things, right? So because we want to handle this data, and they are most essential, right? Then another main advantage, this I already pointed out, there is a decrease in energy requirement to operate an intelligent device. Clear? Say this was not possible maybe 20 years back. So every device basically working in electrical, maybe a small source will be embedded into a system. For example, a small battery, and that battery is going to produce a necessary supply, right? So nowadays there are technology available with zero energy. What it means, it does not require any charging from external source. Clear? There are many intelligent processes consumes power even less than 2 or 1 watt, I'm telling. You can imagine, right? So 1 watt, 2 watt, really we could not imagine today there are devices, intelligent devices available with very zero power consumption. Clear. So technically speaking, what you would say, small amount of power is sufficient to survive for one whole year, I'm telling, right? So that is another advantage of this IoT, why it is being used in various applications today. The third advantage is miniaturization of devices. Clear. Say you all may remember the first computers, when first computers were introduced long back, the size of the computer was room size, right? Suppose if you try to see computers, older computers, even we ourselves have experienced old CPU, maybe size of a monitor. But today CPUs are embedded in monitor. Clear. So manufacturing or miniaturization of devices, that is really attracted much to use in various devices as an intelligent tool, maybe to make the system better, right? Then another main thing is artificial intelligence, right? Say if you could realize artificial intelligence again, maybe 1990s or 2000, it was highly spoke maybe in 2000, 1980s, but it was not as expected in the year 2020 or 2000 or 2010 like that, because those time people used only artificial neural network, hardly some fuzzy logic expert system. Technically, they are called expert system as an artificial intelligence techniques. But today, there are many AI tools developed, especially for local system, right? Say there are many things can do the self management, self healing. These are new terms, right? Self healing and all, definitely a very good feature which is given to any system. For example, if there is a fault, even it we ourselves experience in computer, if there is a fault in computer, assume that there is an improper connection in internet, just to give diagnose, it will find what is a fault. You just clear the fault by itself, it will clear in another 5 minutes, network will be ready. So this is called a self-healing facility, right? So definitely it is required in every system because we need reliable thing, right? Suppose if there is a fault in a particular device, and if the fault is due to temporary problem, and you need not make or you need not take that device to a service station to repair it, some extent you can do self healing of that. So that feature definitely could be provided under the umbrella called IoT. So these are the major reasons, like enormous data started or requirement of enormous data. I won't say that these data are not simply accumulated some reason. Definitely there are reasons, right? Suppose if my car is accumulating all the data, there is a reason, there is an eccentricity, I'm telling. You don't simply think that we are accumulating all the data like garbages. It is not like that. There are many data we need intentionally today. Then I told the second reason is even a small electrical power system is required. A small power system is required, which is very cheaper today. Small power system. Second one or third one, a miniaturization. These devices are very tiny. When you take a small sensor, it is not even what I would say, five micrometer, right? You can see in terms of millimeter we have studied, right? Centimeter we have studied, millimeter we have studied. This is micrometer, I'm telling. There are sensors available in the size of micrometer. Even I don't think you can see millimeter in the centimeter scale. I think you all can remember the centimeter scale which we have used long back in our mathematics, centimeter scale. So, you know, centimeter, hardly 7 or 8 centimeter scale we might have used in our college or school life. So out of that, you know what is 5 centimeter? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. You can imagine that. I am telling 5 micrometer, right? So even sensors are available today in the level of 5 micrometers, right? That much miniaturization happened under the technology called nanoscience. Then I'm telling capabilities of AI. These are the various reasons I have listed out to bring Internet of Things into the system. So the main portion of IoT is shared by a sensor and activator. I think maybe computer science people may not much aware about this data, these type of technologies. I think they may be knowing, but may not be handled these two terms often in their domain: sensors and activators. Say if you take any industrial process, these two are playing a major role. So you take any industrial process. So let me explain a small industrial process here. So let us assume that there is a small motor. You can take a lift. This is the best example. You assume that this is a lift motor and this is connected to a cabin. You all know what this lift is doing, right? Lift is motor is connected to a cabin. So what is a prime role here? So what is a prime role here? Assume that this is a motor and rotating at the speed of omega. So what is a prime role here? We have to control the speed of this motor. So we are sensing the speed of the motor. So here there is a sensor. So usually there are many sensors are there today, right? Crystal sensors, right? It is highly popular nowadays. So you all know tachometer. That was very classical analog type sensor we used long back. But now there are many sensors are there, even IR sensors are there, crystal sensors are there, and they are used to sense the speed. Maybe encoders are there, and this sensor, one typical sensor I'm taking and going here. So here we are making a comparison, and this is your set speed. Suppose you are telling that the motor should run in 1000 RPM or 50 RPM. We are setting the speed. That's it. So this is a control system aspect I'm explaining here, and there is a error, and this produces, comparator produces error, and this goes to a PI controller, and then it goes to your activator. So usually this activator is a power electronics device. So here we use a DC-DC converter. Okay, and this voltage is finally connected to your motor. This is your voltage. So now you can understand what is this sensor and activator plays a major in any industrial process. Here I have explained a typical industrial process. Clear? So if you bring IoT here, this is going to form a local network. Say wired network, old fashioned, but now wireless networks are there. Why I'm telling you? Why this wireless network more popular or more eccentricity here? Suppose you take a motor, the distance between this motor and this activator hardly 100 meter, or maybe, sorry, 10 meter distance. Motor is here and your activator is here, and these two are hardly 10 meter. So 10 meter, is it possible to provide wired communication? Definitely no. So you can go ahead with wireless technology. Say for example, you can take a Zigbee. Zigbee protocols are very popular nowadays under IoT. So if you take a Zigbee, and this can provide a communication between this motor and this activator. Because the distance is 10 meter, you can use some wireless communication. So now you can see there is a sensor. I'm taking one example. So I'm taking a sensor which is embedded into the motor, and here this data I'm directly getting here, and this is my controller and the activator, and all these things are there in a small embedded platform. So this controller usually will be there in a small embedded platform. For example, it may be an Atmega processor, right? I think you all are know about what is a small processor, Atmega processor. So now you can see there is a Zigbee protocol here, Zigbee is here, and you have a small embedded system here. What else you require more to make it as IoT? Nothing else. Clear? So here the data is local. Just through this embedded, through a gateway, through a gateway just connect into the internet. Now you can see it, right? You can see it. So the contribution of sensors and actuators are major, especially in any IoT network. So when you talk about these sensors, they are particularly collecting the information. So that is nothing but the data. So data basically come out from a sensor. Here I told speed of a motor, it is a data. If you measure voltage, it is a data. It could be a particular parameter or maybe anything, right? It basically sensor provide data. So there are three types of sensor they are telling. One is passive, omnidirectional. So for example, a mic, right? Then passive narrow beam sensor, something like some infrared sensor you can see. Infrared sensors are there. Then active sensors, sonar, radar, all these things are coming as active types of sensors. I'm told activators are basically in terms of some controllers. I told here DC-DC converter. So I told DC-DC converter. This is called one type of activator. Clear? So I think you understood here I told controlling of motors to move objective. This example I have explained. The role of sensors and actuators you are all understanding. So the data is fetched from here and finally end up in the activator. So that is one-to-one local connection. So sometimes this is a local controller, even need not be a local, this may be a global controller. So even this sensor, sorry, this processor may be located very remotely. And that's what people are doing today, right? Say, if you visit some substation, I think you all know as a computer science engineer, you all know what is called a substation, right? So I think you all might have received a substation. So electrical substation, if you see the main equipment in substation is a transformer. So this side may be 110 kV transformer, and this may produce 11 kV output voltage. So this system, this substation hardly you can see every electrical network, right? Suppose maybe one district contains minimum 2-3 substations. Clear? So 20 years back or 30 years back, it was manned substations. Clear? Dedicatedly, they build quarters, and there are people stay there, and every day they are inspecting, every hour they are seeing duty, and they were doing 20 years back, I'm telling. But today, more than 4 to 5 substations join together, and it is monitored remotely. So here you may see the main backbone is that networking, data networking. You can understand why a computer science engineer would like to embed it with an electrical system. Clear? This is a massive technological development or advancement happened in the field of electrical engineering, especially in the past 20 years. So as I told, there are many sensors are there used in a substation, and you can imagine about the size of data and how to transfer the data, what type of devices we use to transfer the data. All our things are basically decided by you computer science and communication engineers. So by considering time, I am just moving forward. I think all of you might have seen that ZigBee protocol. It is readily available in Amazon today, right? Even you can control your fan or maybe your light using this type of ZigBee protocols. It is a very low cost device which is available even today in Amazon market. You can buy it, and you can even make use of this for local control. So now we are coming to this networking. I am told that there are many things are there. These individual networks are often called as local network, right? So this is a local network, and the interconnection of two local network forms a global network. So if you see the scenario, I am told that electric vehicle, for example, you take that vehicle, electric vehicle, it is coming here as a transportation sector. You can see a small electrical vehicle. So where and all it is going to connect, you see, a small vehicle, the data is required by a business people. Clear? So this data is required to a home. Why? Suppose if your husband is going out, wife would like to monitor where this guy is going, right? So this data is required in home. Definitely, this data primarily required to an electrical network. Suppose if it is an electric car, where you will provide maybe supply network, maybe to charging battery. So definitely, the information about this data is required here to energy sector. So now you can understand many sectors are joined together and finally forming this network, right? So mainly we need three major things which involve in any network things. One is security. Clear? Security. Say I'm told that my car is communicating to a nearby customer or nearby service center. There we need a security. Clear? So you are may understand what is a necessity of a security. It is nothing but a privacy. It is dealing about a privacy. So only I should know the one who is servicing. Only the communication should happen between these two guys, not as a third person. Clear? So that is nothing but a security. Then we may say this analytics, right? So definitely there are another team involving in this network, analytics. Then data management. Okay, so all these things are coming as another sub part of your Internet of Things. So as I told, the local network and connecting two local networks and the third layer, security, analytical and management. These are the major building blocks of any IoT based networks. I hope that I am clear. So by considering time, I am not moving depth to this network. A simple example I have provided here. If you take an industry, there are many sensor nodes are there. In fact, a sensor is communicating to another sensor, right? Here you can have a small local server. The sensor can communicate to this local server. Need not be one local server, maybe many local servers could be here. So each cluster of sensors communicating, and this server communicates to other local server and these two others. Like that, it is making inside this local network. Then through this base station and these data are connected to internet, and here you can have another local network, and where an user is sitting and he is fetching the data and he is making use of that data. This is another outcome, or maybe an example of this communication between a local network, between two local network through this global networking system. So this diagram little bit further explains the different technology which we are using to form the local networks. So here you can see a small Wi-Fi modem is going to make use of this local network, right? Yeah. So here you can see another type of local network formulated using Bluetooth technology, right? So I have already explained the Zigbee protocol. Again, Zigbee technology is coming up. Then nowadays people are going with the Z-Wave network, which is quite new. Now people are moving from Zigbee towards the Z-Wave network, right? Because of either compatibility and maybe this upper hand frequency. There are some reasons why people are going to Z-Wave network today from Zigbee protocol, right? So now you can see the local network can make use of various technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It has its own limitations. For example, if you take Wi-Fi, hardly few meters, maybe less than, not more than 20 or 10 meters, in fact. And Bluetooth, 1 or 2 meters, not more than that. So Zigbee, in fact, you can widen the range a little bit wider, or Z-Wave, again coming under hardly some more distance it can enable. So like that, the formulation of local network technology varies from one to others. It's up to you how you are going to interface one with the other. So with this, I am moving towards application. I have already skipped the huge content in network. So extremely, I think bear me, because why I am telling you we are running short of time. I have in fact a class at 11:30. By considering that time, I'm moving forward. So when you see main application of IoT is in mobile phone sector. So we are using mobile phone as a major gadgets today. I think awake from bed, first what you see, right? Suppose assume that every day now everybody is using mobile phone. Immediately awake from bed, you will search where is my phone. After taking phone, what do you see first? What do you see first? WhatsApp. Correct. I think most of the people whoever use cell phone, their first thing is what you have to say, looking into this mobile phone, and they will see this WhatsApp, right? So when you talk about this WhatsApp, what I would say, it's a simple data transfer coming under this IoT. So where there is a data transfer between these two mobile, right? That is a basic thing coming under this IoT. So with the help of that, many business have been developed using this mobile phone, right? I think today nobody goes to bank, right? So if you want to transfer money, or if you want to do some kind of what you have to say, uh, uh, now in fact nobody goes to post office today to send for letter, right? Now you remember some 30 years back or 40 years back we send letters, but that habit gone now. Instantly we are sharing the messages, right? Not only message, it's image or video, whatever it is we are sharing. Ultimately the technology has been developed, right? So second one, I am telling this banking sector. So if you want to go to bank and transfer the money or taking a DD, is really a painful job. If you go to bank, half day gone, right? But now sitting just in mobile phone, within 5 minutes you can finish your work. Clear. The third one, what I am telling you, is your market. Even you can use your phone as your market. A successful market, that is Amazon market, Amazon, Flipkart. There are many markets are there. So sitting in mobile phone, you can complete your finishing. You can complete your complete purchase. Clear. So that's what I'm telling you. Mobile is used as one of the multitasking agent. Clear. What else is not there in mobile? We could not count it, right? There are huge technological advancement happened, especially in mobile sector. Even I am thinking now there are even health monitoring systems are available in mobile, right? There are local, I think there are some local networks are there, which is made in wristwatch. So when we wear wristwatch, people are monitoring the health system. That is even coming up in mobile phone application, right? So health monitoring system is coming up in mobile phone. So like that, there are many way, directly or indirectly, this mobile phone itself is providing a lot of features to a customer, right? You can understand, even it can provide our path routing. So if you do not know an unknown partner, if you are moving to an unknown place, your mobile is more than sufficient. Clear. So but there are some problem I understood. Suppose when you like to go to a particular building, your map will divert you to a particular building. So immediately going near the building, you will understand that in between you and the building there may be a very big compound. Clear. So that compound unfortunately will not come in mobile phone, right? So when I was in Ireland, still I remember I was moving to my building. So I was seeing that is one of the tallest building in that place. I was going somewhere in a place, and I get down from the bus in a wrong bus stop. Okay, I was thinking that it was a fine evening around some 4 o'clock. I was thinking that that building was very near to me, because I can see that building from my place where I was sitting, where I was standing. So just by seeing the building, I started walking in a particular direction. After moving, finally I was approaching the building. and a very big compound came. Then only I realized that there was a railway track in between my building. Then only I realized. In fact, there was no way. Then I have to walk all over 4 kilometers. Then I catch another bus, and then finally I came to my building. This is a small difficulty when we use your mobile phone for path routing. Clear. So although technology developed, and even now there are some problems arises, but anyhow, I told condition monitoring. This is another ultimate advancement of technology happening. Say when you buy any electrical appliances, just you have to connect these appliances with your mobile phone. That's it. So if you buy your TV, connect your mobile phone. If you buy a washing machine, connect to your mobile phone. If you have a refrigerator, connect your mobile phone. Finished. You need not worry about anything, whether it should be serviced or there is a defect. Each and everything, this fridge or washing machine will communicate to the concerned service provider through the network. Sitting in one end of the office, service provider will contact you. Sir, your fridge is not working. You may not believe that, oh, my fridge is not working. If you go and open that, it may not work. Clear. Why I'm telling you? They are servicing from this remote. Now you may understand. These type of technologies are coming up. Maybe in India, maybe it will take another 1 or 2 years. But now these features are there in modern devices. So why I'm telling you today, a fridge or maybe a washing machine cost more than 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees. Clear. So where an embedded system with this network facility cost not more than 2,000 rupees. You get my point, right? You may remember what I quoted in the previous slide. Technology is very cheaper today. If you wish, you can bring this IoT in any device. Such a tiny equipment, zero power consumption, and what I would say, very low cost. Many features are there to provide or enable IoT into a device as a smart device. So you can make this washing machine as more smarter when you are providing this communication facility. It is going to make its own network. It is going to communicate. Clear. It is providing communication facility. Then I'm moving into control of this lamp. I think now it is already there in the market. I think you all may popularly know a name when you remember this automatic control of lamp or any electrical appliances. Let me see any participants are aware of that. So any participants have you updated about this controlling of fan or lamp or any electrical devices sitting in your home? There is a device available. Yeah, what is the name of the device? No, I am telling communication device. There is a device available in market today to control this lamp. Voice command. Just if you say turn on, it will turn on. Turn off, Alexa. Very good. I was waiting for the word Alexa. There are many such technologies are available in the market in the cost of 4,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees. Just to buy Alexa, if you ask Alexa, Alexa, you turn on the fan, fan will turn on. If you say Alexa, Alexa, I do not know, maybe in other, after some time, after 20, 30 years, if you say, Alexa, bring a cup of tea, maybe Alexa will bring a cup of tea. Who knows that? Okay. So technology is developing maybe very faster. Alexa may be our entire world tomorrow, right? We don't want wife, children, nobody. Alexa may be sufficient after some time, right? So I have already explained a vehicle. Vehicle is one of the maybe what you have to say, major commercial sector where the entire world is looking. So you all know vehicle sector is one of the huge business sector, right? You can see recently Ford closed to their company. Even Chevrolet, they already closed to their company. But although they are closing their company, but I am telling Indian electrical market is one of the huge market. There are a lot of business are there. I hope that this IoT is going to change the mode of business in electric vehicle, right? Maybe near future, electric vehicle is going to coming up. I hope it will be a very good successful concept with the help of a network engineer to make things very simple, efficient, and less time consumption. So this is going to happen maybe in the near future with the help of this networking engineering. I'm already told after this pandemic, the In fact, whatever we are delivering the class today, it is online. Even 4 years back or before pandemic, if you say someone that sir, I would like to deliver a lecture through online, nobody ready. Suppose if you ask students to hear lecture through online, they never ready. But today they are ready. Why? The total education system itself changed after pandemic. I think you all may agree with me. Clear? So after this pandemic, it is really a new door opening, right? Especially in education sector, I'm speaking. Similarly, you can see medical. Suppose if you allow hundreds and hundreds of patients to go to the hospital, you can see whether it is required or not. You have to go there. Suppose a person is taking a kind of X-ray, and the X-ray will be given only after 2 days. After taking X-ray, only to show X-ray, you have to go to that multinational hospital and taking token and sitting in front of doctor for hours and hours, and finally showing that Xerox or maybe X-ray or maybe any scanning report, not more than 2 minutes. Just for seeing the doctor 2 minutes, we have to spend our whole day. But now this pandemic created really a new door open. You just WhatsApp this scan report to the doctor, finished. Clear? So remotely, now that mentality changed. That's what I want to point it out now here, right? So previously, definitely we have to go there. Now somehow this technology helped us, especially the pandemic changed the mentality of many field. One such example is biomedical. So there are many things are coming up under this health monitoring system with the help of IoT. I already covered this topic, marketing. So I think Amazon, Flipkart, they have increased their business maybe 10 to 20 folds before and after pandemic. You and me are witness of that, right? So with this, thank you very much to IIT Kottayam for inviting me to deliver a lecture on IoT and its network architecture. I wholeheartedly thank each and every one of you for your patience listening. So by considering time, and let me conclude my lecture now, because I have a class at 1:30. So thank you all of you.
Kumarvel sir, thank you so much for your detailed lecture. Hello.
Yes sir, I'm here.
Yes. Is there any doubts or clarification from the audience, please? I hope the plan was scheduled till 11:30. That's what maybe it took time for the inauguration, so that is why it got delayed, sir. Anyway,
No problem, sir. It is nature, because inaugural function is based on experts.
Yeah,
sometime
that is what
will
actually.
take.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is
yes,
what.
yes.
So,
yes.
participant, is there any doubt? Please, either you can enable audio, you can go ahead, or you can type on the chat. So there is a query, sir. Like, how does the ingress and egress routers going to change the way of communication?
Yeah, this is really completely a new question to me. As a person from electrical engineering, I think hard question to answer. So please keep this question with you. I think next session will be handled by one of the faculty experts from NIT Calicut. So please remind him to. I will just pass this question to him. Sorry, Shankar, I could not answer this question.
I hope that will be a good one. Like, I mean, he will be a right person, right?
Yes.
I mean, Arun sir will be a right one. So, Shankar, please, you can hold on. Like, the same query can be answered by the faculty who will going to handle the next session. Okay. Yeah. I think if it is the case, then I hope it's fine to wind up, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sabine? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kumaravel sir, for the informative session. So the attendance link is posted in the chat box. You are requested to mark your attendance by filling up the Google form. Even though we are taking the attendance from Zoom, it is mandatory that you should fill out this Google form for your attendance. So we will be having a break till 12 p.m. And our second session by Dr. Arun Rajkumar will begin exactly by 12 p.m. It will be in the same link. Okay, so thank you all for joining the first session. We will meet at 12 p.m. for the second session. Thank you.